afternoon, everybody. So you've joined me today for fitness and arthritis. Doing fitness, having a fitness routine while having arthritis. So like you, I also have arthritis. I was diagnosed with it earlier this year, but I've been working with people in fitness with arthritis for the last 4 years. So what we're talking about today are the pros of movement, continuing to move our body, even when it hurts sometimes. Listening to when our body talks, reading the signs, listening to what it has to say when we are working out, when we wake up in the morning, and then the importance of range of motion. So, pros for movement. We have our pros, we have our cons, and this kind of goes hand in hand with listening to our body. Pros of movement are we're moving our body, we're getting exercise, we're getting our heart rate up, we are working through the pain sometimes. So say you wake up and you've got lower back pain. You maybe do some stretches in the morning, working on rotating the body, stretching through it, doing your cat-cows, doing your bird dogs, doing your core strengthening exercises, or just stretching out the hamstrings, stretching out the glutes. And this is more specifically for lower back arthritis, but there are other kinds of stretches you could do for different parts of the body, say your elbows or your knees, or your wrists or hands. So when you do have that pain, when you wake up or you feel stiff, do the stretches, work through the stretches to the best that you can. We're not trying to push into and through the pain. If you're hitting a wall with the pain, stop. Give your body rest, let the inflammation calm down. Say you wake up with stiffness and it's just, I was kind of sitting in the same place or laying in the same place for a long time. Okay, well, that's listening to our body. And whereas pushing through and saying, I have to do this today, we'll get the work done, but there could be consequences later on, painful consequences, maybe that night or the next day. But we want to listen to our body and listen to it when it's inflamed. So inflammation versus just stiffness. Inflammation is the joints are inflamed. You can see that the site of the arthritis, maybe it's your elbow or your hand or your wrist or fingers, that your fingers are swollen, they're red, they're hard to move, they're painful to move. In comparison, if it's just stiffness, the body just needs to be moved. You need to work your body in its fullest range of motion. So that's where all these three come together. You want to work in its fullest range of motion that you can. And that's where the stretching comes in, having a proper warm up for the body comes in. Say it's your hands and your wrists, you're doing wrist rolls, you're opening and closing your hands, maybe twisting the arms. But there's a distinction, and we have to listen to that distinction from our body between I'm inflamed today and I'm in pain. I need maybe a medication or like an ibuprofen, or ice or rest or heat, whatever that protocol is for you, because it's very specific to that individual. Or it's just stiffness, where the stiffness, you can work through it, lubricate the joints, with those range of motion exercises or those stretches to just get the body moving, get the ball rolling, kind of shaking the dust off the joints to move forward with the day. So the range of motion helps keep our body moving in its fullest capacity. When you have pain in your shoulder, you're only raising it up to here, because when you get to here, it hurts. You're not working in its fullest range of motion. And again, this is specific to arthritis. If you have a torn ligament in your shoulder, go to the doctor, listen to what the doctor has to say, and follow their protocol. But if it's arthritis and say, oh, my shoulder hurts when I get to here, so I'm going to stop here, because the pain starts when it's raised up, you're not working in the full range of motion, and you start over time to lose mobility and lose that range in that body part, in that shoulder. So where you're, for example, with the shoulder, if you're raising your arms up and you start to feel it, breathe through it and bring it back down. And then when you're working through it, bring it up a little bit higher and a little bit higher. So you're edging up to where you feel it, but we're not stopping. We're not stopping early. We're not shortening our range of motion. We want to work in our body's fullest capacity that we can to keep it in its healthiest form. And so when we're listening to our body, this is in the morning when we wake up, this is throughout the day, this is during exercise, during activity, this is kind of at all times. So if your arthritis is talking to you, say you're doing squats and you have arthritis in your knees and you're doing squats, and you woke up, they feel great, you're doing your exercises, you're walking, you're doing your squats, which are great, by the way. But maybe in set number 2 or set number 3, they start to hurt. Your knees are starting to hurt. That's when we want to listen to them. That's when we want to, if we're holding a weight, reduce the pressure on those joints. So we want to put down the weight. Still continue to do the squats if you can, but put down the weight. If you're doing a body weight and they still hurt, try using a stability ball. So the stability ball, like this one, the Swiss exercise yoga balls. Those are great to do squats with on the wall, where you put it against the wall, you lean onto it and perform your squats that way. Again, you're reducing the pressure on your knees, so it's not pushing down on the joint. Some of the weight has been taken off, some of the pressure has been taken off the joint. And if altogether that still hurts, then I would give it a rest. Listen to your body, listen to your knees, listen to the joints, listen to what they have to say. Maybe they're getting more inflamed as you do the exercises. We want to listen to that. We don't want to be in pain. We have to take into consideration what continuing pushing through the pain will cost us later. For example, last week, I had really bad lower back pain. I had really bad arthritis last week. So I was able to exercise one day and I had to rest the next 5 days until finally it had gone down. I was feeling much better. I was able to go through stretches, my core strengthening exercises, and then the next day be able to run. And running is pretty pounding on the body because you are a thud, thud, thud every step. But because I let my body rest, let the inflammation come down, I was able to do something that I enjoy, do something that makes me feel good and is good for my body, just by listening to it. And sometimes you have to take a couple of days off to let the inflammation go down, let the body rest, but it's about the consistency of getting back onto your routine and we're listening and being consistent over time, over days, weeks, months, years. It's not just I'm going to do fitness. I'm going to do an exercise routine for 3 months. And man, I hurt halfway through, so I'm done. I quit and I'm not going to go back to it. It's all right, listening throughout. Oh, my back is starting to hurt a little bit, or my knees are starting to hurt, or hands are starting to hurt a little bit. I want to listen to that. Give them a rest. Take a day off. Take maybe 2 days off. Listen to your body. Listen to what you have to say, what it has to say, and then you get back to it. Things can be on pause, but we're not going to stop. We're not going to end our fitness journey just because we're having some pain. Unfortunately, it's a part of life and we want to learn to manage it. So that's where listening to your body is so important. And since it's just me today, this has gone by really quickly. If you have any questions, comments, are interested in training with me, go ahead, drop a comment, send me an email, a text message, like and subscribe. You can find me at izzyfitnesstraining.com or email me at izzyfittraining@gmail.com. All right, guys, thanks. We have a little cameo here, little special guest appearance with Ginger. All right, guys, have a great new year, and I will see you soon. Bye.